It's pretty good.
And, you may not like the Reuters poll. That's fine. But it does show a trend, and it's reflected in just about every other poll. The huge gap in the momentum the Democrats have, and they have outraised Republicans. That momentum's dissipating because the economy's on a bit of a roll. In fact, in terms of Americans looking at the economy, it's on a 17-year high in terms of confidence. And for the first time, 2/3 of Americans, when surveyed, give the president responsibility for that economy. Remember, for the first year, it was 50-50 with President Obama. Joining us now, a member of the leadership team on the Republican side in the House, Kathy McMorris Rodgers out of Washington. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
First off, the president was reflecting the Reuters numbers. Is there a little bit more optimism now in the House amongst the Republican caucus?
Well, sure, we're encouraged with those numbers, and we continue to see, we saw it again last night in the primaries, that the Democrats are nominating the far-left candidates. There was a gal who won in Kentucky last night, Amy McGrath, and, she's someone who supports a single payer. She called the border wall stupid, the tax cuts terrible, and yet, at the same time, we're seeing our economy continuing to improve. And as the tax cuts are being implemented, the numbers that you pointed to, that you see consumer confidence at a 20-year high, unemployment is at a low, 17-year low. It's the lowest since 2000. You see small businesses that are growing, expanding. The layoffs are the lowest in 50 years. African-American unemployment is at 6.6%, which is the lowest since we've been recording unemployment for African-Americans.
Right.
So this is all good news, and I believe it's building the momentum that you then see in the generic ballot, because the Republicans, along with President Trump, have been focused on getting results for the American people, for improving their lives.
And as far as leadership, one thing you have to do is, what have you done with the majority, and how have you acted? And you guys have looked dysfunctional over the last week or so, especially with the failure of the Farm Bill and this organic upbringing, and it might be a good thing, of DACA amongst the so-called moderates in the House. And some are saying it's just impossible for Speaker Ryan to hold this job till November because as a lame duck, you just don't have the power that the Speaker needs. Are you one that's concerned?
Well, there certainly is a lot of frustration around immigration, and as you said, we've seen the discharge petition by some that are out there wanting us to take action on DACA. You have others, and that was reflected in the Farm Bill on Friday, who voted against the Farm Bill out of frustration on immigration. I think it's important to note on the Farm Bill, the Farm Bill included the important reforms to SNAP, which is the food stamp program. Every single Democrat voted against it. Every single Democrat voted against the Farm Bill, voted against the reforms to the food stamps, because they did not support us bringing back the work requirements for food stamps for the able-bodied adults, the 18 to 59-year-olds. Every single Democrat voted no.
Right.
And on the Republican side, we came up a little bit short due to a frustration on an unrelated bill, immigration. Now, we are going to work on that. We need a solution. President Trump has said we need a solution. We need a solution. I'm committed to helping get that solution. Mm-hmm. The Speaker, the Majority Leader, the Whip, we are all working with the members of our conference to move forward on a solution, a border security bill that we need to ensure that the border is secure.
Well, you're talking about the Goodlatte bill, and Congressman Goodlatte, who's also retiring, said, I'll change some of this to make it more possibly acceptable to moderates and maybe have a shot at the Senate. What has he changed?
Well, Chairman Goodlatte has been taking the lead as the chairman of the Judiciary Committee. He's been working with the members for months now. Nothing has been agreed to yet, other than committing, leadership committed to bring the Goodlatte bill up for a vote. The concern is that we do not yet have the votes for the Goodlatte bill, and that's where we need to continue to work with our members, both those that need the border, prioritize the border, as well as those that need the DACA fix.
Congresswoman Rodgers, a couple of things. I'm personally the biggest Paul Ryan fan. I thought it was enormous that he became Speaker. I don't think he loved the job. And then he says, I'm going to quit the job in November. If this continues, this lack of efficiency or the Freedom Caucus and the Tuesday group not listening or paying attention, would you support a change and a vote? Because it would also put Democrats on the record to vote for Nancy Pelosi, many of which want to run from her.
I believe that Paul Ryan has been, he's been the reason that we have gotten the results. You've seen us get the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, lifting up the regulatory burden. He has united us as Republicans. The issue of immigration has long time been a difficult one. It has not been addressed for years, well, actually decades. We've needed to fix a broken immigration system. We've needed to take action on the border to ensure that it is secure, and it hasn't happened. It clearly is a difficult issue. Speaker Ryan enjoys the support of the conference, the respect and the admiration of and the confidence of our conference. He is Speaker because we asked him to take on this job. We recognize that he was the policy wonk as well as the person that unite us, proven that. And I believe that the large majority of our conference support him, continue to support him, and want to see him finish this year because he's the one that can keep us united. And
right. You do think so. I mean, I know you want him to be, but he might not be because people know he's leaving.
I believe it's in our best interest that he stays, and he says that he plans to run through the tape. That's the best thing that we can do to protect, maintain our majority so that we are electing a Republican speaker after the election and that we continue to get more policy wins. I believe that his leadership is critical to those wins. Well,
let me ask him, if when he is time for a vote and there's going to be a new speaker, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, would you want to be considered?
You know, I just don't think that this is the time to be having those kind of conversations. We have to make sure that we are staying focused on the policy, the legislation that we have to get passed between now and November. We have to make sure that we're voting on a Republican speaker after the midterms. But right now, the best course is to make sure that we're focused on getting those wins and running through the tape.
Congressman McMorris, thank you so much. McMorris Rodgers, appreciate it. One of the most powerful people in Washington today. Appreciate your time.
Great to be with you.